Hello there, I'm Nino Zama and this is my ANC Talk, and our focus today is on constitutional amendments, and to help us discuss this further, we are now joined by former chairperson NEC Constitutional Committee, Collins Chabane. Welcome to my ANC Talk.
Thank you very much.
Let's go deeper into the discussions that were taking place in the Commission on Constitutional Amendments. What are some of the issues that were discussed there?
Our commission dealt with two broad issues. First was to effect the decisions of the discussion on the organizational renewal, and secondly, to reform our disciplinary procedures. On the first one, there are very few key issues which we looked at. The first one is the increase of the size of the executive structures of the ANC. You would recall that there was a proposal that the NEC should be reduced from 80 to 60. On our first day in plenary before elections, we presented to conference for conference to effect that amendment. Conference refused to change the size of the NEC and it remains at 80. But further in the commission, the PECs have been increased from what it is now to 30. And the RECs also have been increased to 20, and the BECs, that the branch executive committees numbers of executive committees members, have been increased.
The number of years, are they going to be affected, the years of serving in these committees?
The term of office has not been changed. What has been changed is that if you want to be a member of the NEC and you want to be nominated, you must have served in the NEC for 10 years. In the past, it was 5 years. For provinces, it was 3 years, it has been increased to 7. For regions, it was 2 years, it has now been increased to 5. And for BECs, if you want to serve in the branch executive committee, you must have served in the ANC, you might have been a member of the ANC at least for 2 years, unless if that structure is an interim structure where you start to form a branch.
Okay, let's talk about this very touchy issue of discipline in the organization. What are some of the new developments there?
The first thing which we did, we cleaned up that rule in the ANC. It was a bit confusing. We had to clean it up and make sure that we streamline the issues and make sure that it becomes very clear. Secondly, we had to establish the jurisdiction. Sometimes there's dispute as to, can you charge me as the Secretary General? Not as a member, as a Secretary General. We had no clause which could do that, to charge you for the responsibilities which you have in your elected position. We have increased that jurisdiction now. So all officials of the ANC, public representatives, now they fall within the ambit of the disciplinary procedures of the organization.
Okay, and there's been an issue of the court cases that have been happening, and the ANC has been saying unofficially that whoever takes the ANC to court must consider themselves expelled. Has this issue been highlighted in this commission? When
we were in Polokwane, I was also chairing the same commission. The matter was raised, and at that time it was actually raised by the Free State. That what do? We need to put in the constraint that people who take the ANC to court are going to must be expelled. We resisted that because we thought it might be unconstitutional to put it in our own constitution. It may render our constitution unconstitutional itself. So the NEC, after discussion, held that view that once you take the ANC to court, you must continue self-expelled. But you would have noticed that the NEC never effected that decision, because all of us were very clear that there's something wrong with that type of approach. But nevertheless, the decision of the Constitutional Court in respect of the Free State case, there's a section there where they deal specifically, they clarify the relationship between members of organizations, not only ourselves, members of organizations, companies, and everybody else, their relationship with their organization, and secondly, the rights they have to seek relief to court if they feel the internal processes are not adequate. And the Constitutional Court was very clear that every structure and organization have to be in line with the Constitution, and the rights of members of society need to be respected. So any member of the ANC who wish to take the ANC to court can do so, but obviously they will have to deal with that at the court level. So the conference accepted the decision of the Constitutional Court. So for us now it's no longer an issue.
Okay, so how do you see these constitutional amendments improving the way ANC does business? How is it going to affect the way the organization operates?
As a consequence of the Constitutional Court decision about people taking the ANC to court, and our own assessment that the majority of cases which went to court have got nothing to do with discipline. It's organizational problems which should be resolved organizationally, where the structure of the ANC feels aggrieved and the higher structures are not assisting to resolve those problems, and therefore they find no other avenue except to take to court. We then said at conference that the African National Congress need to put mechanisms in place to be able to deal and resolve internal political problems and administrative problems quickly, so that at least you relieve people from going to court. We think that is going to help. With regard to disciplinary measures, we have effected amendments in terms of the processes and the procedures, how they go, so that you don't stay for this long period without the case being finalized. So we've affected that, and we hope that we'll be able to dispose of all cases expeditiously.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Much.
That was Collins Chabane, former chairperson, NEC Constitutional Committee, talking to us about constitutional amendments. And this was my ANC Talk. I'm Nino Zama. Thank you for watching.